Yo guys, Coach Theo here on Common Sense. Testosterone replacement therapy is a fancier name for anabolic steroids that pharmaceutical companies and certain fitness influencers like to use in order to downplay the seriousness of these anabolic steroids that you take or sell, right? Because it sounds much nicer, right? You know, this is testosterone replacement therapy. This is therapeutical, what I'm giving you here. You see, it's unrelated to all these steroids you heard about, those things that kill people at a premature age, have all these side effects. That's something else. This is TRT. This is therapy. Or, you know, it's added a layer. It was bad enough as it was with people lying about taking steroids or not. But now with this new concept, the way it's being framed as a therapy with TRT, there is a new kind of fake natty, you know. Like either the one that says they're natural, because, you know, silently it's like, yeah, because TRT it's like medication. It's natural. I don't even have to mention that. Or it's still used to kind of downplay it all, you know. No, I don't take anything, or I don't take much. I'm just on TRT, and this is not good. I'm so like just seeing how many men think this is like either a legitimate like medication for you to take, that you something you should consider, or that just like nah, I'm hungry for the gains, and like no, I don't want to hop on this huge cycle. I'm just thinking about a little bit of TRT, you know. It's not good, guys. It is still steroids. I want you to understand that just because it was dealt to you by a doctor and has this fancy name does not change the fact that this is the exact same stuff people have been injecting, buying from the streets and injecting. The difference here, it's dealt legally by a doctor. And I guess the process is overseen by a doctor. Oh, great, you know. Like pretty much your doctor is now your enhanced bodybuilding coach. Yeah, guys, it's like it's still dangerous. It still has side effects. Right? You got to understand that the name, I think, for some people, you know, no, it's just testosterone. It's the same thing you have inside. These other bodybuilders and stuff, they take all these other things. Well, you got to understand that all the other things are based off of testosterone, and testosterone is still the main thing that people would like. All that I know about this is secondhand information, but it seems to be what most people start with is a cycle of testosterone, the exact same thing the doctor would give you. All right. And so, guys, you got to realize, for you that think this is some kind of legitimate medical procedure that you maybe, you know, would consider now, or at least when you get older, you know, when your testosterone starts dropping, it's kind of like, guys, as a species, our testosterone levels have plummeted, okay? For everyone, they have gone down. So do you realize that the issue, it's not a like big mutation that just happened recently, and all of us, we just lost our testosterone for perfectly reasonable reasons. No, it's of course all this indoctrination, it's like all this softness of the society, all these ideas about so-called feminism and so-called equality, all that gay stuff, you know, in combination with us actually being polluted by our environment, you know, like, well, the air, with the water, the foods, plastics, fabrics, all kinds of things. So do you understand that for the amount of individuals where we can actually say that TRT is a legitimate medical procedure, like people that would have low testosterone no matter what they did, that is vanishingly small. The overwhelming majority of people that are prescribed TRT, they are just on gear and their doctor is their dealer, right? I've heard so few stories. I've heard a few, because there are exceptions that prove the rule, but it's just like everyone that either wants to accuse someone like me of being on gear, or, you know, oh, you have such great genetics, blah, 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 blah. It's like you want to completely disregard the 6 years of completely, just absolutely insanely consistent hard work, you know. It never comes from above, you know. Never see a guy that's just stronger and more jacked than you and have been doing this for longer than you, that's kind of like, oh, you know, you are on TRT, oh, you clearly have great genetics, you know. It's the same thing with a TRT. I don't hear the story of, you know, I really, for years, I've been exercising, I've been lifting weights, I've been eating good food only, you know, my meats, eggs, fish, with some fruits, vegetables, starchy carbs, you know, and I've made sleep a priority. You know, I always make sure to be in bed at 10 the latest and get my 8 hours. Make sure to spend time outside in the sunlight, because of course the sun is so important for, well, many things, but testosterone synthesization among other things. And yeah, I of course do everything in my power to keep everything around me as organic as possible. I reduce stress, and I've done this now for years, but my testosterone is still so low, so I just don't know what else to do. You know, I consider going TRT. It's never the story I hear. You know, it's kind of like, oh, I'm just kind of hungry for more gains, or like, you know, I feel like my testosterone could be higher. I feel like I could get more gains. It's like, can you at least fucking try the basics first, guys? It's like, I promise you, again, overwhelming majority of people that actually went to test their testosterone to find out that it wasn't as high as it could be. I promise you that you could make it high just with lifestyle. You know, about myself, I so wish that I actually had measured my testosterone before I went on this lifestyle. Of course, I had no reason to back then. I just know from the symptoms I had and my lifestyle that I clearly had very low testosterone. You know, the main things I can think about here is that I drank a shit ton of beer in general. You know, not only alcohol, which is going to be, well, toxic for your entire body, but definitely for testosterone, but beer too. Kind of the most estrogenic beverage you can imagine. I drank tons of this. I ate a bunch of junk food, and I slept. My sleep schedule was just shit, you know. And I know it too. I remember it from feeling just weaker and more emotional and upset like that, you know. And when I tested my testosterone, I tested it twice. After 3 years on my journey here was when I did it the first time. It was 896 nanograms per deciliter, you know. And then people have been asking me since then, and I'm like, I don't really care so much about the number. It's only really to flash for you guys. Like, I'm happy with how I feel and look, and you know, so I don't really care about the number. But I've said, if anything, I think it's just higher now, because since then, it's been 3 years when I tested it with stellar habits, you know, on point with all these things. Well, the 4 most important things, guys, is training at high intensity, good nutrition, good sleep, and getting sunlight and time outside. I've done that for 3 years then. And so I tell people when they ask that, you know, this was what it was when I tested it. I think if anything, it's just higher now, because I've just been doing the same thing, becoming even better. So I went to test it now recently, and it was higher, 925 nanograms per deciliter. So, you know, I know for the person watching, so, oh, it's easy for you to say that I have so high testosterone, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's easy for me to have high testosterone when I've lived such a fucking on-point lifestyle for years, you know. It's so ridiculous with the people that, you know, you jump to the result first, and that's all you see, and you don't see what led to this result, you know, and think a little bit about it. Like, you would think, oh, but he has high testosterone, clearly that I should take testosterone so I can get to his level. No, you should get to my level so that you can get the same level of testosterone that I have. Do you understand? So guys, I just want to tell you, don't do this. Don't do it. It's dangerous. It has side effects, and you're dependent on it. You'll shrink your balls, and you shut down your endogenous testosterone production. And, you know, for people that want to associate testosterone with manhood so much, how manly is it to not get your testosterone, like your manhood, from within, but have to inject it from the outside? And now I'm saying that with a caveat for the person that actually tried everything, and it's some kind of genetic thing. That's another thing. But anyway, guys, I don't think you should connect your testosterone to your manhood anyway. I saw a comment about it on some other video. I don't even remember, you know. I just saw it was clearly some older guy. It was like, I don't know what happened with all the guys today, that they worry so much about their manhood and their testosterone. I've literally never thought a single thought about my testosterone, you know. And I say that too, that's why I hate with all these things that I get introduced to. All this talk about testosterone and steroids, TRT, blah, blah, blah. Now you're thinking about all of this. And like, you know, there was one guy on my video about my testosterone test. This guy commented like, oh, like, this is reassuring or something, you know. I'm about I'm like buffed like you, and I do whatever it was, like you do too. So I thought it might be low, but it might be okay then. And I'm kind of like, but bro, you just described that you're like huge, that you're in good shape and stuff, but still you're worrying about whether the number is high or not. It's like, but you have the real life results. It's like, I said that before I did my test, that look guys, I think it will be higher, but even if I saw it much lower now, I wouldn't care. Why would I care when I'm feeling great, looking great, and I'm making the training progress that I want, Why is the number what it's about? It's like so many human beings are like this. It's like they get stuck in some program and forget that, you know, this testosterone number that it's an indication of some things, but it's just a thing. You and how you are doing, that's what really matters, you know. It's like I told you, the only thing with the numbers, I can like flash for you guys, see, you know, I'm in like the 99th percentile here or something. But for me personally, I don't really care what the number is, as long as I'm feeling great, right? So guys, I can make more videos related to this. The last point I'll make though is that everyone, you're first of all, you're thinking way too much about like testosterone and numbers as a thing. Because people, what you have learned is that you need testosterone in order to build muscle. Higher testosterone is better for building muscle, which is not untrue. But you got to realize, guys, it's so many of you think too. Like what you have to understand in this life, guys, is that everything exists in relationships. There are many, you know, the chicken or the egg. Nothing came first. Many times they both, you know, feed into each other. So an example I often take here is like about the gut-brain axis. You can eat stuff that you have a bad reaction to so that you actually get emotionally anxious, right? But you can also be eating things that your body can handle perfectly well, but you're in a very stressful situation. You are very anxious now, and now you get gut problems from that. You see, it goes both ways. It's the same thing with testosterone, of course. It's not just that testosterone aids in building muscle, it's also that building muscle helps testosterone, using your muscles, right? So you gotta stop and wait for you, like, oh, I need to fix my testosterone first and then I'll go do the things. No, do the things and then you will fix your testosterone. Like I told you, it's going to be very, very, very few cases when just lifestyle is not the answer. This is taken completely out of my ass. I promise you, this is like 1% of the people on TRT when it's even a legitimate medical procedure and not just steroids that you've been handed by a doctor. It's kind of like, guys, I'm against it for many reasons, but it's kind of like if you just want to hop on gear, just do that and don't try to pretend that it's like medication, you know. It's pathetic, honestly. I could talk a lot about these with related topics. I'm gonna do another video and I'm gonna call why testosterone is not important. Like either just permanently like that or for building muscle. Because guys, you realize it's always you in the end. It's who you are. It's not just that a higher testosterone changes you into more of a masculine man and more able to build muscle. No, you becoming more masculine in the way you live, that's gonna increase your testosterone. Okay guys, please like and comment. Be very curious to hear your thoughts. I'm sure it's going to be some little, you know, defender of the TRT here, but everything is welcome as always, of course. So please like and comment. It also helps the algorithm, helps more people find their way here. So comment anyway. It's very much appreciated. I do holistic bodybuilding coaching naturally, okay? Body, mind and soul, getting jacked and stacked mentally, physically, spiritually. So if you're interested, you can send me a DM on Instagram or email me. It's in the description. I'll get back to you and tell you about my different programs. You just want to support me and my content, you can become a Patreon or a member of the channel or leave a little super thanks comment. Very much appreciated, guys, and please subscribe for more content about fitness, fasting, losing weight, building muscle, self-improvement, stoicism, mental health, philosophy, spirituality, mindset. It is a mindset, guys. TRT is steroids. That's the mindset. Peace.